Hello, everyone, and welcome out to episode 308 of The Good, the Bad, and the Geeky. Before we begin today's show and roll the theme music, just an FYI that we are sponsored by sponsors. That's right. Eerie silence for comedic effect. audibletrial.com/goodbadgeeky. You get a 30-day trial, over 200,000 titles to choose from. Just an FYI, any little bit helps us. So if you join using that code, audibletrial.com/goodbadgeeky, and get a free audiobook, a 30-day trial, it's so awesome because that helps us out, but also you get a free audiobook from that whole thing. And then once it renews, you get an audiobook a month. So say, you decide not to buy anything, but you still like the membership because you like the idea of it. You still get an audiobook every month. It's pretty cool. And here's the thing. Say you tried out for 2 months and you're like, you know what? I don't want it anymore, even though I don't know why you would, because it's really awesome. But if you do feel that way, you get to keep all the books. It's so awesome. Some awesome books out there right now. The Girl on the Train by Paula Hawkins is unabridged and on Audible, and so is The Girl with the Lower Back Tattoo by Amy Schumer, and much more. So please check it out. I'm actually a big fan of The Hobbit unabridged by Rob Inglis, so check that out. But they also have the Harry Potter books by Jim Dale, the Jim Dale version, not the Stephen Fry version. But yeah, check that out. audibletrial.com/goodbadgeeky. Also, go to packratcomics.com for all your comic book needs, especially if you're in the Columbus, Ohio area. If not, you guys need to come to Columbus and check out the 2015 Eisner Award winning store. Now, 2 locations, one in Marysville and Hilliard, Ohio. And last but not least, IABD Presents. We talk about it in the main show itself, but it's all been done. RadioHour.com is honestly my personal favorite, but that's just because I like everything that's on the network within that show. We have The Scary Dead, Porn Star Detectives, Daniel Kravitz's Chosen One, and, of course, Universe Journey. But we have some other great things too. GOD is my BFF. Oscars are my Super Bowl, and of course now The Good, the Bad, and the Geeky. So check out iabdpresents.com or check out the flagship show. It's all been done. RadioHour.com. All right, we have some stuff. Most of this episode, I'm not gonna lie, guys, is me just kind of bullshitting and talking about tons of stuff. Creative stuff that I've been doing and what's been going on behind the scenes. It's not like a huge episode, but I lightly talk about South Park and Storks. Just an FYI as well, there is some unedited content. So if you have the app, either for your Android Marketplace or iTunes App Store, make sure you get that. And if you do, you get a bonus episode with no ads. Like with this whole bit right here, you don't hear any of it. Me just talking about Audible and Packrat and IABD Presents. You just get right to the show, and it's pretty great. So check that out if you would. If it's your want, I should say, check it out. If not, roll the music. Welcome out to The Good, the Bad, and the Geeky episode. Roll the music. And welcome out to The Good, the Bad, and the Geeky. As you heard in our intro, we have some great sponsors. Please check them out. And if there is anything that's edited out of this episode, I forgot to just throw out there in the intro, check out the app. Or at least I thought I did. I'm not going to lie, I don't remember. And that was 5 minutes ago because I have a horrible memory. So if I say the phrase to you that I haven't had a job since like end of June, your first response would be, that would make sense. You can't remember anything. But actually, I found a way around that. It was, I haven't, if you've heard episodes, I've kind of, like dodged it a little bit. Like you can hear me going, That's me moving back and forth like I'm dodging the microphone. That is literally probably the worst bit of audio I've ever recorded. But you know what? I'm sticking to my guns because I commit, people. I commit. But yeah, I was let go, and it was something that I don't agree with that. The fact that, I mean, obviously I don't agree that it happened, but you know, I'll probably talk about it later at some point, but it's been stressful. I'm not going to lie. And then I've actually had to learn how unemployment works, which is also, as a guy, it's very self-defeating. You know what I mean? Very not fun. But yeah. So because of that, and so technically I've been looking for a job almost every waking moment of the day, and if I'm not doing that, I really am doing wedding stuff, which is interesting, right? So, and it's a little frustrating. Just because sometimes there are days where it's like you spend the whole week looking for a job, and you're like, you know what, this day I'm going to focus on editing a podcast or doing something creatively, and you don't have time for it, which is funny because you think you'd have just all the time in the world, but getting a job and paying for things like just a roof on your head, a wedding to your wife, soon-to-be wife, those are rather important things. So, as a matter of fact, I haven't seen a movie in a while, which I'll get to that here in a bit. But it was really interesting, right? That it's just, of course, it would happen. And I'm also very prideful, so that's kind of been. I've been looking every day. I've been submitting like maybe 2 to 5 jobs a day. But, and here's the big thing. I've not been openly asking for help until probably the last month or so. Like, you know, I've been asking, hey, do you work here? Do you know someone who works here? And I've been approaching like that, which is what I should have done from the get-go. But, this, you know, look, at the end of the day, I make fun of Jimmy, and we all make fun of each other for, you know, not being the man's man kind of thing. You know, I don't have the handlebar mustache and, you know, lift weights and talk sports, which is considered to be the cliche guy, right? Even I know a lot of geeks who like love football, right? It's to me, it's a strange phenomenon. I don't 100% understand it. I actually can enjoy it, to a certain extent, but, I just don't flat out hate it. But, if there's a movie on, like, say like the movie Rushmore's on, and football games on, I will watch Rushmore every single time. I will even watch like maybe a movie that's not. I would rather watch an Adam Sandler movie than watch football, just because. Yeah, and that's saying something, people. I again, well, not all of them. I probably wouldn't watch Little Nicky or the one that he just had come out on Netflix that was horrible. I can't remember. It was so bad. The something number. Yeah, but. I would probably give up Big Daddy or The Wedding Singer, even Billy Madison, which is a good bad movie. It's a funny movie, to be very clear, but it's not a good movie. I would say The Wedding Singer is like a great movie. Anyway, I digress. I'm going off topic, but. Yeah, you get the kind of point. It's been rather difficult just trying to stay creatively active. I've been doing It's All Been Done Radio Hour, which, as you heard, we are part of the network, which is really awesome, really cool. But yeah. So then that leaves, well, creatively, what's been going on? What's the dealio, yo? And first off, let's get over let's rip the Band-Aid right off. And long story short, UTMNT is not going to happen. It's placed on hold. We might do something with issue 2. Nothing huge with it, but Eric, Cortland, and I, at least Cortland and I, have decided to, at Eric's behest, split up and go our separate ways. I don't necessarily understand his decision. I mean, I do, but I don't. And you know what? It is what it is. So, other creative endeavors. As you heard, GBG is part of the It's All Been Done Presents Network, which is super awesome. I love working with Jimmy. And Jimmy is, as you hear, is still part of the show. It's a lot more difficult to have him on the show. This is one of the reasons why I'm doing this week, because also I'm behind in editing. I did actually last night, as I'm recording this today on Thursday, the day before this goes live, recorded, oh my God, I can't speak. I finished editing half of the GBG live show featuring Rocky and Bullwinkle from September, which I know is super behind on me, but that was super cool, and I'm slowly getting there, and which leads to Rocky and Bullwinkle. Show's going really well, and the last episode especially, I think, has been our best show. Period. The gags worked. The everyone was on right on it with acting, and there was some plot going on too. It really was a accumulation of everything, and it only took almost a full year to get there, people. A full year, and honestly, I think it's 28, 27, 26, 25, 24 episodes to get there, people. 24 episodes to get to that. That's insane that it took that long to get to that point. But we're here, and we're doing great. There is some stuff I'm really working on for season 2, which will probably be renamed. I don't want to give too many spoilers out after that, but once you hear October show, you will probably understand why. But I don't want to say more than that. Tease. If you are in the Columbus area, I will say, and I'm sorry to plug midway through the show, but it's important to me because it's a lot of fun and we're having a good time. Please check out Rocky and Bullwinkle. Go to gbgpresentspod.com. And then last but not least, Why Not Green? Adventures in Space and Time. And yes, the time is implied. Guys, it's really cool. We're gearing up to finish the last half of season 1. For those who've been listening and have been going, where the hell is Why Not Green? Well, you're going to get your answer. Matter of fact, it will probably, I might move it over to something a little different. I don't really know, in terms of season 1. But season 1 will have an ending, and there are other greener pastures out there, no pun intended. And maybe it'll get retooled a bit and go elsewhere. I don't know. I don't want to say 100% yet because it's just, I get very weird about that kind of stuff anyway. Like, we have a lot of irons in the fire for continuing Rocky and Bullwinkle live and not just, pre-recorded. And that's fine. But I really would love to keep doing it live because I love the live audience interaction. And also it helps you realize what works and what necessarily doesn't, And it also helps me become more confident in my writing. And also, like, when I write stuff for It's All Been on Radio Hour, whatever it be, Universe Journey or Top Notch Tangler, which are the ones I feel most comfortable writing with, which probably I shouldn't be doing necessarily if that's the case, because I should challenge myself as a writer and tackle. Anyway, that's, mid-thought. And again, nothing that I don't want to write for those. I prefer to write for those two. My feeling is, like, I don't feel comfortable enough to write for some of the other ones. And so I would not dare writing for them because they're too hard, in my opinion. But that's the whole thing, is you should challenge yourself as a writer to always, anyway, I digress. Why Not Green? Yeah, is we're coming up on writing, or not writing. It's already been written. It's been written for a while, but recording, I think October 22nd. And then after that, it's just editing. So, but I always get really nervous talking about things that I have in the fire, like irons I have in the fire officially, especially when it comes to these two, because these are things that I actually do have some semblance of control over. But I just don't want to hedge all my bets or anything like that. And if I have said on here before, I think the fact that those things actually could happen, that's when I get a little bit more cagey about it. And just know that Why Not Green somehow, in some way, could or would or will return after season 1. Even if it's not a lot, it may. Just look, Why Not Green, season 1, it's coming up. I'm really excited for it. And I think December right now is the game plan to release it. If not, beginning of 2017. All right. Now let's talk about some actual geek shit here, people. Not just me rambling about creative pursuits for, like, Jesus Christ, however long that was. So Jimmy and I had a conversation about this, and And I'll break it down really quick for you, but South Park, not the most recent episode from this week, but the last week's episode, which I'll be talking and trying to look it up on Hulu here to find out what the name of the episode was. But pretty much the storyline is that the girls feel are bullying them, and it's to the point where they are possibly even killing themselves or something similar to that nature. And that's pretty crazy, guys. And the episode's called Skank Hunt, and because that's the name of the guy who's actually spinning all the venom, and they blame Cartman for it, and probably rightfully so, by the way. But the way they get away with the impact of trolling or bullying is they show a little girl walking to a bridge, and she taps something on her phone, and then you pan up, and all of a sudden you hear something hit the water, like a splash, and then you see a bird. Next day at school, it's like, oh my God, did you hear that one girl? She quit Twitter and Facebook and all our social media. And that was their way of dealing with the kid had technically committed suicide. It was kind of, oh my God, but, look, it's different if it's killed, kind of funny, but this is a serious subject that I felt they did a good job of it. Jimmy said, and I don't want to misquote him here, but he did say the other night at practice when we were talking about, like, this episode was very uncomfortable for me. am not offended by anything, but I was kind of like, oh no, you don't do that. And look, as someone who has been bullied his entire life, and granted, Jimmy has, I feel too. I feel that's one of the things we commiserate about every once in a while. But I'm more bitter and hold on to that resentment. Not a lot, but yeah, I remember, being bullied and stuff like that, and I felt it was poignant and important to me that that's how they handled it. They didn't actually show the girl jumping into the water or anything like that, because that's, of all the things they could do, that's not funny. But the way they did it, I thought kind of was fun. It was I will admit, yeah, it was wrong, but it was still done, I think, the most tasteful way they could have actually done it. And there are things that you go through too with people who are rather suicidal, because there's a kid who keeps going to Mr. Mackey going, I'm going to do it. I'm going to quit Twitter. I keep telling my parents, but they're like, they don't care. And after, like, literally Mackey's dealing with this for a long time, he's just like, oh my God, will you just do him, Kai? Jesus Christ. Because it's a realistic human response. If you've been up all day and you're trying to help them best you can, but, like, they just keep talking like they're on the edge. And I know exactly what they were doing, and I didn't feel there was any ill will towards it. But Jimmy had he was a little bit thought that wasn't the right thing to do. They shouldn't have done that. I think otherwise. Now, I haven't watched the third episode, which is called The Damned. But I have seen Member Berries and Skank Hunt, and so far I think South Park this season is knocking it out of the park. I really enjoy this whole thing that they're doing, and I just want to throw out there, and of course Jimmy and I might probably, and we probably will, discourse this a little bit more when we both have time to do a show. It's no joke, it's one of those things where we have to kind of matter of fact, last week's was done because I scheduled like a week and a half before that. It's almost like 2 weeks in advance we have to schedule stuff out, because Jimmy's doing other podcasts on his network, and he's writing his show. We're working on the Christmas special, which we need to get together on soon. And we got so many irons. As a matter of fact, he took time out of a very busy day yesterday to help me with the season 2 opener, because it's very political, of the Bullwinkle show. So that's really important to me that he did that. But just, again, it was I didn't know when he would be able to have time to do that, and he knocked it out real quick. Recording podcast, though, it takes a lot of time, because we'll talk for a few hours and all this and that, and we have to record it, make sure there's technical stuff right. With here, I just walk up to the mic, turn it on, and start talking. All right, enough of me rambling about that. Last but not least, Storks. Now, this is a plug for as well, and I don't kind of care. Oscars are my Super Bowl, which is part of the IABD Presents Network. But here's the thing. I'm just going to say this. I loved that movie. I absolutely loved that movie. It was a fantastic movie. But you know what? What did Dan and Amanda think? You know what? I'm going to tease that because I really loved it, but what did they think? And Amanda is a big film connoisseur. Dan loves animated films, but that doesn't mean they're going to enjoy the movie. Matter of fact, a lot of reviews for the film, at least with, well, some reviews, not a lot of reviews. A few of the reviews I've seen have been either mixed to poor, but people that I've known has seen it, love the movie. Except for Dan and Amanda, I don't want to speak for them. I'm talking about people on Facebook, that I'm friends with. And the sad thing is there's not a lot of them. And I will go more into reasons why I love it. So you want to check out, Oscars Are My Super Bowl, one that does post. So you know what? And I don't know when it will be posted. So, just because there's a huge backlog of tons of movies that Amanda needs to report on. So do me a favor. Go to Oscars Are My Super Bowl on iTunes, subscribe, or join the RSS feed or whatever Jimmy has set up over there on IBD Presents. And that way you can get the scoop on Storks. But it is a fantastic movie, and in my opinion, at least. And I really think you guys will love it. But if you want to hear some more in-depth conversation about Storks, check that out. And that's all I got for this week's episode. If you want to hear extra deleted fun stuff, don't forget, go download our GBG app, which you can get if you're a Android marketplace or on iTunes. And the links are on our webpage at gbgpodcast.com. Don't forget to listen to Rocky and Bullwinkle. Thanks, everybody. You have a good day. Or whatever. See you next week. I am the worst when I'm by myself. I just ramble and ramble and ramble and ramble. Oh shit, I'm still on. Shit.
Get out of here without cheese! You're a creep! Go away! We're having a good time until you showed up, cheapers! Go have some coffee with cream or something! Because I'll tell you something! This is a happy place!